Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As we get ready for this upcoming week of Love Island USA, let's take a minute to look back at all the highs and lows from week 2. Now our Islanders kept the drama pouring this week, from Ace and Amaya's big blow up to Nick falling for every bombshell that comes for him, to cracks in the relationship with Huda and Jeremiah. Let's take a look back at it all. Is it just me, or is Ace gaslighting Amaya and stringing Shelly along? Let's talk about it. So, on Sunday night, we had the dramatic recoupling. And we opened up with Ace throwing cold water on Hannah's vibe. He lets her know immediately after recoupling that, he's still exploring options. He wants to give her the opportunity to do that as well. And he isn't cuddling because he's a slow burn. Everybody's a slow burn this year. I feel like they're using that so they can still test out things with other people and not get too deep with one person. But he tells her he's a slow burn and he doesn't want to cuddle with her in bed just yet. It's the first night. And she clocks it and calls. She tells him, you could have waited till tomorrow to tell me this. I was like on a high, really excited to be with you and to get to know you more. And you just kind of burst my bubble and bring me down. Then she started crying. And she did call him out on being a player, which I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's just a player or is he trying to really play the game, or he's feeling like he's trying to create a storyline to keep all of these obstacles in the way of him and Shelly and they eventually get together. I feel like he's trying to self-produce. Drop in the comments and let me know if you feel the same about Ace. But yeah, he really hurt Amaya. She went and pulled uh Huda for a chat. I guess they're close friends now. And she cried on her shoulder. And Huda told her, you've been chasing him, let him chase you. These guys aren't the prize. We are the prize. So Ace pulls Taylor to talk to him about what's going on. And Taylor mentions, he kind of mumbles it, but if you listen closely, you hear him say, if the attraction's not there, it's just not there. So then Ace tells him, she's cooking breakfast for you. You're going to mess this up. She's going to be with somebody else, and then you're going to be upset with yourself. So it sounds like to me that Taylor is saying that he's not really attracted to Alandria. Now, by the end of the episode, they do talk things out and they have their first kiss. She tries to drop him hints because she doesn't feel like the woman should be the one to make the first move. So Amaya's had some time to think about it after breakfast. She thanks Ace for making breakfast for her and apologized to him for feeling a way about the things he said last night. Now, while she's doing this, she calls him Babe and King. So he asks her, what do you usually call your partner? She's like, well, I usually make up a name or I may call him Babe, and she laughs it off. And he's like, well, that's too much for me. Now she is all confused, like, are you serious? Me just calling you babe? She's like, this is how I talk. I don't mean anything by it. I know we're here to explore other people. What are you talking about? He's like, well, you're being very defensive. He is gaslighting her. She is clocking it, and she's calling him out about being a player. And she's just over it at this point. He's telling her, go ahead, explore who you want to explore. So he goes and talks to Nick. Now, before this, Nick and Austin were talking, and Austin was talking about he and Amaya meditating and had a makeout sesh the other day. So he's still thinking about Amaya, even though he's with Shelly now. So when Ace talks to Nick and tells him about what happened with Amaya, Nick also says, oh, babe is too much. I mean, it's just a general term of endearment. I mean, come on now. But he encourages Ace to pull Shelly for a chat. So he does that. Austin and Nick are talking again, and Austin loses his mind. He's like, I am sick of being in a love triangle. If he wants to go for her, he just needs to do it. He's playing games. Everybody's starting to see how Ace is a game player. He sees, he's also clocking Ace that he's trying to make Shelly jealous and he wants Shelly to chase him. And he says point blank, Shelly is not the type of girl to chase, which she is not. So comment below and let me know, do you agree with Austin that Ace is playing a game to try to get Shelly to chase him? Because when he sat her down and talked to her, he was like, so how you feel about that from last night? She was like, well, I mean, you made your choice. I mean, she said, as a human, I felt the type of way, but it is what it is. She's very nonchalant. But I do see in the preview for tomorrow night, it looks like Shelly and Amaya are going to get into it, and she's going to tell Shelly, you can have him. Now, we also had Olandria, quote unquote, letting it slip that Nick kissed Bella in Soul Ties. And Sierra was like, what? Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. So she was upset about that. She confronted Nick about it. He was flabbergasted. He was like, because she was like, so why didn't you tell me? Were you going to tell me about the kiss that you had with Bella in Soul Ties? He just sat there kind of staring blankly. He was like, well, um, there was just so much going on. I was just focused on choosing you, so I didn't know what to say. So she let it slide for now, and they're on good terms. But I definitely think if a bombshell comes in that he's interested in, his head will turn again. We also had Jeremiah and Huda getting their first date. They went to a water park. They got to talk a little bit more about her daughter and how life would be back like on the outside. They do seem pretty solid. I don't know. Ace is still running around the villa trying to get people to see that Jeremiah is playing a game. Who knows? We shall see.
Everything that you're saying right now, everything that you're saying, everything that you're saying right now, everything
that's a broad statement, and especially after picking me at the ceremony, how I feel.
You're talking with your hands and you're talking over me, so I'm not hearing anything that you're saying right now, to be all the way
all
real with
right,
you.
that's fine. We both don't hear each other. We both don't understand each other.
Understood that. So since you don't understand what it is, I'm gonna be very, very clear with you. I do not want to explore you anymore.
I do not want to explore you anymore.
I love that, and I appreciate that.
Right.
The villa is in shambles. As you saw from that clip, Amaya and Ace had a knockdown drag out, and they're pretty much over. They're not interested in pursuing each other any longer. And this episode is basically Amaya versus everybody because she was knocking people out left and right. She was trending #1 on Twitter because of her shenanigans. But it does look like Jeremiah is having doubts about his relationship with Huda. He pulled Olandria to chat and asked her about the whole dating someone who has a child thing. And she did give him some good advice on it. Take a listen to what she said.
Baby mamas and baby daddies relationships
yeah.
is a slippery slope.
Yes, agreed.
That person will always have access to your person. And majority of the time, they don't always want you to be included in what they got going on when it comes to co-parenting.
So I think that is true. You definitely have to think about what's the relationship with the baby daddy when you get into a relationship with someone who has a child and is co-parenting with someone. But he's also starting to feel like Huda is speaking to him like a child, and they're actually going to have a little run in the episode that we're going to discuss as well. But of course, that wasn't the biggest point of drama for this episode. Of course, it was Ace and Amaya. Amaya has turned out to be reality TV gold, actually, and she is not putting up with Ace. So I definitely have to show you what happened at bedtime because this does play in to Amaya being upset with Ace. So you see Ace goes and hugs Shelly. Amaya's walking by and she sees that. Now Ace just told her, I don't like physical touch. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't call my name. So she's feeling a type of way.
You're gonna help me tonight?
Nah, it's very free.
Good night, mwah, mwah. Super. Good night.
It's almost like Ace is just trolling this girl, trying to get a reaction at this point. What is going on? He flirted with her. He chose her. In his speech, he told her, I can't wait to get in bed with you and spend time with you and all this stuff. And then he did a complete 180 on her right after he chose her and acting like he cannot stand her. Now, granted, she is over the top. And she will have a confrontation with Shelly that is completely misplaced because Shelly hasn't done anything to her. This is all Ace. But I don't know what he's doing here.
Definitely do want to talk to you.
Yes.
And I don't mind speaking about it in front of all of the girls.
No, of course.
So, what's going on between you and Ace? Because yesterday, you were one of the girls that I did cry and vent to about him.
No, of
and I
course.
feel like you had many opportunities to tell me, hey, girl, I still feel a connection with him, and I still want to pursue that. And now, the way I view it is wait, was she being genuine with me when I was, telling her how rocky we are? Or were you trying to internalize that information and be okay, now, it's just weird?
No, I completely understand. So when you, to me, when we...
Because I feel like... I'm not gonna lie.
Y'all see this pattern with Amaya where she likes to cut people off. Now, I definitely think Ace is wrong with how he's doing her, but I do think that she gets really hyped, cuts people off, does not let them get their point across as well. Shelly was actually downstairs making breakfast for Austin when Amaya came to confront her. She did come back upstairs. Ace wanted to do a yoga date with her. So she came upstairs to change, and that's when Amaya confronted her. That clip went on a little bit longer, and Amaya kept getting loud. I couldn't show the whole thing. But at the end, she decided not to do the yoga date with Ace, and she went ahead and made breakfast for Austin, and had breakfast with him, and said that's what she should have went with her original plan to start with. Then we get Nick and Jeremiah talking about his relationship with Huda. He's starting to feel like she treats him like a child. And Nick says, yeah, she is. She does seem kind of dominating. He's not sure about that. In the confessional, he says, I'm not your kid. You can't just talk to me like that. So I need to set my boundaries with her. Now, she does pick up on that he's acting different towards her. So she pulls him for a chat, and she wants him to let her know why he's acting different towards her all of a sudden. So he kind of sits there and hems and, Hans, like he doesn't know what he can say. And then he says, well, I was talking to the fellas and they said that they think you're playing it safe. So she almost starts to cry, and she's upset that he would go and talk to them instead of coming to her. And she said that's exactly why she didn't want to tell them anything. So she says she shared so much with him and that she's not faking it, playing it safe. And they kind of leave it there on a cliffhanger, letting us know that there are 2 new bombshells coming in tomorrow night. Now, they did play a messy pie or kiss game where they had to read a question and pick out the islander that they most thought fit the answer to the question. And then they flipped a coin that one side had pie and one side had kiss. I would say the biggest takeaways from that game, Sierra was asked a question, who has the biggest red flags? She picked Shelly, but not because she thought she had red flags, because she wanted to kiss her. And she said in confessional that she's been waiting to get her lips on Shelly. So they share a steamy kiss. Then there was a question about who's trying too hard that Ace had. He also picked Shelly, and they basically make out there. So I know Amaya was feeling away. Then Taylor gets the question, who's trying too hard? And he picks Amaya. And she's like, what do you mean? What does that mean, I'm trying too hard? So, of course, she wants to pull him later for a chat to discuss that. When the guys see her marching their way, they're all like, oh, my goodness, what's she about to go off about? So they discuss that, and it doesn't end up being a big thing, but she does confront him about that. But those were the big moments from this episode. Like I said, at the end, they said there are 2 bombshells coming in on Thursday. There's no episode on Wednesday night, but on Thursday, 2 bombshells are coming in, and we should be up for a recoupling soon, and it's a girl's choice, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Oh, Austin was upset with that kiss with Shelly and Ace because he says they haven't even kissed like that. So I am wondering what Shelly will do when it's her turn to pick.
What's up with you? You got some sticking today?
Everyone is like for example, Ace is doing the hibachi thing. Like, people are like trying. Like Taylor did that little dancing thing. I'm just like, can you do more?
You did us. So it's just been a lot. This stuff I've been having to process between us the last few days has been a lot. You know, so you have a whole kid. And something like that's a bad thing, but it's just like I'm still getting my bearings. And I thought I did make you feel special because that's what you'd be telling me.
You do. You do make me feel special. All I asked was, can you do like little cute things for me?
Is the honeymoon phase over? Is the honeymoon phase over for Huda and Jeremiah? So the bombshells have shaken things up around the villa, and it does look like we're headed for the end of Jeremiah and Huda. Let's talk about it. So 2 things have been happening with Jeremiah and Huda over the last couple episodes. They have been getting closer at night. They love to show what's going on in the bed at night, and there's definitely been some things going on under the covers between Jeremiah and Huda. We don't know exactly how far they went, but they have definitely been doing some stuff under the covers. But the other thing is they are arguing a whole lot more these last couple of days. I'm thinking that Huda is starting to feel like she's not being appreciated by Jeremiah. As you saw, she talked about the other little cute things that the guys are doing for the girls, and he's not doing that for her outside of making breakfast. but she wants those other little cutesy things like the other girls are getting. So they actually had two arguments this episode, and you see he keeps throwing in there that she's a mom. The second argument they had was after breakfast. He did try to make some pancakes. She said she had to throw them away because they were undercooked. Then she told him he needed to eat all of his food. He said, "Okay, mom." So he keeps taking those little jabs at her being a mother. Now, the new girl Iris did pull her from a chat. That really didn't go anywhere. And did anybody else notice that we did not see Huda and Jeremiah at the end when they were playing out the nighttime scenes after dinner? Now, you know we had the vote tonight for who we wanted each of the Bombshells to pair up with. I checked Twitter and almost everybody voted for Jeremiah for Iris to pick Jeremiah. So we'll see how that play out, because if they're still together and she gets paired with him by America's vote, she's going to crash out. It's going to be just like Mackenzie in season 2. So speaking of Iris, she also pulls Ace for a chat, and they have a good conversation. You know, Ace is charming and flirty in the beginning. Now he feels like he has a connection with Iris that he wants to explore. So he's been putting all of this time into trying to woo Shelly, but now he's feeling like he has something with Iris. And they kept flashing back to Shelly's face, seeing them sit together. So you can see that she's clocking it, although, you know, Shelly remains calm, cool, and collected. They actually did show that she cuddled with Austin in the bed last night. So I don't know where these two are. I don't know what to think of Ace because of the way he flipped on Amaya once he got her. Will he do the same thing with Iris, or is this genuine? Drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But for right now, he did tell Taylor that he had a really great conversation with Iris. He wants to pursue that, but to keep it on the low. He doesn't want to get back to Shelly. So I think we have an even number of boys and girls right now. So we thought that someone would be going home soon, but maybe not. Maybe they'll just have the Bombshells actually pick who they want to be with, and they'll leave the numbers the same for a couple more days. So I guess we'll have to see how this all plays out. Now, our other bombshell is Jalen, who seems to only be interested in Olandria right now. Or if he did have chats with other people, they definitely did not show it. Olandria does seem to be interested because she likes country boys. He's from Georgia, a small town in Georgia, says there's only 1,000 people, and he drives 18-wheelers. He also is a little bit more forthcoming in letting it be known that he's attracted to her. Now, Taylor has been trying to do little cute things for her the past couple of days. Like we saw the salsa dancing class, and he had a meditation class for her this morning. But it does seem performative. It does not really seem like there's a spark between Olandria and Taylor. I would like for her to give Jalen a shot if he turns out to be, you know, who he says he is. Now, one interesting tidbit, Belle-A is out of the villa and she's doing a lot of interviews, and they've been asking her about if she was interested in anybody else in the villa, and she actually said that she was actually interested in Taylor, but he reminded her too much of her ex-boyfriend. And then after Taylor and Olandria were together and she was friends with Olandria, she didn't feel right exploring that connection. But she said on the outside, Taylor is someone that she would go for. She said he's actually a lot funnier than what they're showing on TV. And if she had the chance in the villa, she wished she would have explored that connection with Taylor. I was like, I could kind of see that, but that's very interesting. But yeah, I just don't think it's there for Olandria and Taylor. And last but not least of the new bombshells, we have Pepe, who has definitely been making his rounds with all of the ladies, but he landed on Hannah. He did pull Sierra and Amaya for chats. I thought he had a good chat with Sierra. I was really rooting for Amaya to have a little connection with him because I feel like Ace did her so dirty. I just want her to find somebody, but they didn't really have much of a connection. He didn't even pull her for a second chat. He pulled Hannah for a couple of chats. One, she was actually in the kitchen cooking with George, and he said, "You're going to have to get out of here because I want to spend some time with her." And George was like, "No, y'all can go somewhere else. I'm making guacamole." So, of course, George is starting to crash out. Shelly's trying to talk him down because he knows something's going on between the two of them. And he would be right. They went to the speakeasy. They talked, flirted, and laughed a little bit. Then they had a few kisses. Then she straddled him and kissed him. So I do believe, unless America picks, because I didn't see anybody really put Hannah when they were sharing their votes for who they picked for him. I think a lot of people actually picked Amaya for him. But if America picks, he'll probably go with Amaya. If he gets to pick, he'll probably go with Hannah. So we're just going to have to wait to Sunday to see how that plays out.